In the dusty heart of Umwahia, Ubakala village, where the red earth cracked under the weight of the sun, 14-year-old OB sat barefoot on the roadside, sketching numbers into the sand with a stone. While other boys in shiny school uniforms marched past him with backpacks full of books and laughter, OB's only companions were the stones he used to count and the fire of dreams burning in his chest. His oversized shirt clung to his back, soaked from helping his father on the farm earlier that morning. Still, he returned to this spot every day, beside the community school, to teach himself how to count. OB's family was poor, poorer than most in their village. His father, Okonkwo, worked from sunrise to sunset helping others clear bush and weed their farmland for a meager pay. His mother, Mama OB, roasted corn by the roadside, praying each ear would sell so they could buy gari or rice for dinner. There was never enough money for school fees, uniforms, or books. Yet OB never complained. He helped his parents in the morning, then spent his afternoons watching other children learn from behind the school's wooden fence. Each chalk mark on the blackboard felt like a whisper of hope calling his name. Each morning, OB watched the other children head to school. The sound of their chatter and laughter echoed in his ears long after they passed. He would smile at them, even wave, but deep inside he felt a quiet ache. He knew the names of subjects they studied just by listening: mathematics, English, social studies. Sometimes, he would repeat the words under his breath, committing them to memory as if they were treasures he might one day afford. OB's friends teased him. "You day play school for sand again," they would laugh. He would chuckle along, but it hurt. Some days, he helped his father in the hot sun until he could barely stand. Other days, he sat by his mother's corn stand, fanning the flames and attracting passers-by with chants. But no matter what, he always found time for his numbers, drawing them in the dust, erasing and starting again. He believed somehow that if he just kept counting, something would change. He had no school bag, no uniform, no classroom, but he had a dream. One afternoon, as OB was carefully arranging stones into groups beside the school fence, a tall man in a brown shirt and glasses paused to watch him. OB didn't notice at first. He was deep in concentration, trying to add 5 and 7 using pebbles. When he finally looked up, the man was smiling. "My boy, what are you doing there?" he asked gently. OB stood and dusted off his shorts. "I'm learning numbers, sir," he replied, eyes lowered. The man crouched beside him. "Do you go to school?" OB shook his head slowly. "My parents can't afford it, but I love school. I come here every day to watch and learn." The man's eyes glistened. He introduced himself as Mr. Michael, a teacher at the community school. He took a photo of OB with his stones and dusty drawings and listened quietly as OB shared his dream of becoming a teacher someday. That night, Mr. Michael posted the photo on Facebook with a heartfelt message about a boy with nothing but stones and dreams. Mr. Michael's Facebook post spread like wildfire. The image of a barefoot boy counting stones in the dust touched thousands. People from all walks of life shared the story, expressing admiration, sorrow, and hope. "How can we help?" many commented. "This boy deserves an education," others declared. The post was shared by celebrities, education advocates, and even a government official. Among the many readers was a businessman named Mr. Chinadu, who lived in a neighboring state but had grown up in a nearby village. The photo reminded him of his own childhood, how he used to hawk oranges and study under a lantern. He sent a private message to Mr. Michael. "Please connect me to this boy. I want to sponsor his education, all the way to university." Mr. Michael couldn't believe it. His hands trembled as he typed back his response. He arranged to visit OB's family the next day with the news that would change their lives forever. The sun had barely risen when Mr. Michael arrived at OB's compound with a broad smile and a plastic folder in his hand. OB was outside, sweeping the front yard. "Good morning, sir," he called out. "Good morning, my boy. Is your father home?" OB nodded and ran inside. Minutes later, the entire family sat on wooden stools under the mango tree, listening intently as Mr. Michael spoke. "There is a man who saw your story," he said. "He wants to sponsor OB. Not just for primary or secondary school, but all the way to university." B gasped. His father clutched his chest in shock. Mama OB dropped the roasted corn she was preparing. Tears filled everyone's eyes. "God has remembered us," she shouted. OB knelt before the teacher. "Thank you, sir. Thank you for telling my story." Mr. Michael smiled and placed a hand on his shoulder. "You told it yourself, OB, through your stones, your heart, and your dream." A week later, OB got his first uniform, bright blue and neatly ironed. The shoes were a size too big, but he didn't care. On his first day of school, he walked into the nursery class, head held high, even though most of the pupils were 5 or 6 years old. Some laughed. "Why is this big boy here?" a girl whispered. B didn't flinch. He sat at the small desk, legs cramped, and listened as the teacher sang the alphabet song. At break time, he sat alone, munching on a boiled egg and bread his mother had packed. He felt out of place but remembered the dream that brought him here. Over time, his teachers noticed how eager he was. He picked up reading quickly, often staying behind to ask questions. Soon the laughter faded. Even the little children began to admire the uncle in their class who never gave up. OB didn't see shame in starting late. He saw purpose. Every chalk stroke on the board was a step toward his dream. OB's parents noticed the change in their son. He came home every day talking about phonics, spelling, and numbers. His eyes sparkled with excitement. At the roadside, Mama OB told her customers, "My child don go school-o." The women clapped and praised God. "Your corn day sweet pass before," one joked. "Happiness day sweet your hand." Okonkwo now worked with more strength, his hoe slicing through grass faster than ever. He would pause and smile, thinking of his son writing in exercise books instead of drawing in the sand. People in the village began to talk. Some offered words of encouragement. A few mocked the situation. School at his age? No waste of time. But the family paid them no mind. They were building something greater than anyone could see. Every test OB passed, every story he read, was a brick in the house of hope he had long dreamed of. Months passed, and OB progressed quickly through the nursery classes. One sunny day, Mr. Chinedu, the man who had sponsored him, visited the village. He arrived in a black jeep, holding gifts and a wide smile. When OB met him, he stood speechless. The man knelt to his level and said, "So you are the boy who counts dreams with stones?" OB burst into tears and knelt down. "Thank you, sir. Thank you for changing my life." Mr. Chinedu lifted him and hugged him. "Every child deserves a chance," he said. "No child should be left behind." The villagers watched with awe. That day, OB knew he was no longer alone. Someone believed in him, not just a sponsor but a destiny helper. Mr. Chinedu promised to keep in touch, to see OB through every level of school. And OB promised to make him proud. OB's story inspired other children in the village. Some who had dropped out returned to school. Parents began to prioritize education more. Mr. Michael was honored at a local education summit for bringing OB's story to light. The village chief declared that no child in Umuahia should ever be denied basic education again. Obi kept working hard. Though he started late, he caught up quickly. He began to write short essays about his journey, titled From Stones to Stars. One of them was published in a national children's magazine. "This is just the beginning," he told his teacher one day. "I will become a teacher too, and help children who think they've been forgotten." Mr. Michael smiled proudly. The once barefoot boy beside the school fence had now become a beacon of hope for many. Years later, at a scholarship award event, a now-grown OB stood on stage, addressing a crowd. His voice was steady, his eyes confident. "I was that boy who counted stones by the road," he said. "Today, I'm in the university, all because someone chose to see me." The audience clapped, some wiping away tears. In the front row sat Mr. Chinedu and Mr. Michael, both beaming. Obi turned to them. "Thank you for not letting me be left behind. Education is not a privilege. It is a right." That night, Obi's speech was aired on national television. His village watched with pride. And somewhere in a small classroom in Umuahia, another barefoot boy pressed his face against the fence, staring in with hope. Because of OB, he believed his story could change too. Moral of the story: no child should be left behind. Every child, no matter how poor or has any learning disability, deserves a chance to learn, dream, and become someone great. Dear viewers, if you enjoyed this tale, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more chilling African folktales every week. See you next time.